Get ready with me while I talk about how I went from absolutely dreading an early morning to genuinely looking forward to my 5:45 a.m. alarm clock. I made a comment in one of my last videos about how I used to hate early mornings. Like, you would have never caught me voluntarily waking up before like 8 a.m. And a lot has changed since then, so I thought I would get into like how I kind of made that change and the benefits that I feel like have come from it. I will say having kids definitely motivated this decision and this change. Almost 2 years ago, I was just feeling super frustrated. I had just had my second daughter and was honestly kind of in the postpartum trenches, just feeling really down about myself, overwhelmed constantly, and just generally like not super happy. I'm sure a lot of women have felt the same way. When it came to my workouts, I was always just trying to squeeze them in during the day whenever I could. It was always such a stressful thing. I felt like I was always rushed whenever I did get a workout in, and I was consistently being interrupted by my kids, which is totally fine and doable, but like on a consistent basis, I was never getting that actual like me time that I so desperately needed. Also, at the same time, my husband was training for an Ironman and he was waking up super early to get his workouts in, and I remember just feeling so envious of him because he'd finish his workout before the day even started and he'd be just like ready to go. And I could tell he felt really good. And I knew that his consistency and dedication to moving his body was helping so much. And he was just so happy, so energetic, which was shocking to me because he was waking up so early. And I just knew that there had to be something to that. I was honestly exhausted. My Junie girl wasn't even fully sleeping through the night consistently. So I wasn't always getting a perfect night rest, but honestly more so more than just even like physical exhaustion, mentally I was so exhausted, so I knew I needed to make a change. So I decided that I was gonna wake up before my girls and try to get my workout in. I knew this wasn't gonna be easy for me, and I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy it right off the bat. Like, I knew that. I knew the first day that I did it, I was going to hate it and be like, I never want to do this again. So I decided that I was gonna commit for an entire month to waking up early before my children. And here's how that first month went. First week, I am very proud. I woke up every single day between 5:45 a.m. and 6 a.m. I hated every single morning. The entire first week, I hated it. I was tired the rest of the day. I wasn't really feeling that great during my workout, but I just said, you know what, I'm doing this. So first week, I'm not gonna lie, terrible. I didn't feel any happier. I didn't feel anything like good about that first week. Week 2 was where I started to notice that like it wasn't as hard for me to hop out of bed, which here was the thing too. You've got to, as soon as your first alarm goes off, you've got to swing your feet off your bed, sit up, and it makes it so much easier to do it. If you lay down and turn off your alarm, game over. So it was like my rule. I'm like, okay, I hear the alarm. I got to get my feet out of bed and just sit up on the side of my bed. Even if I just sit there for a couple minutes, don't lay back down. I noticed that it wasn't as hard for me to like get out of bed. I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more used to this time, but I still can't say that I was feeling like energetic or excited about those workouts. Week 3 was a little bit of the same, but towards the end of that week, I noticed myself like after being like, oh, that felt really good. Like I was feeling good. And by week 4, I literally was getting out of bed, no problem, waking up, going about my day, genuinely feeling so happy at the end of it. So it was a month of consistent effort to where I saw a huge change. It just kept getting better and better and better. Here are the things I noticed immediately after that first month. I had so much more energy throughout my day, mentally, physically, emotionally. I felt so much happier, like genuinely. Having that time for myself and doing it at the start of the day just set my whole day up for success. I feel like I could work harder in all of my work stuff. I was a better mom, more patient, happier, just all of the things. One of my favorite perks that came out of it is I started sleeping so much better. I'm someone who used to have a really hard time falling asleep and like sleeping soundly throughout the night. And the early mornings helped me fall asleep so much quicker at the end of the day. And I was sleeping, like I was actually getting a good night's rest. That's something that was like very new for me. And then it was so fun to literally fall asleep and like be excited, giddy excited for my alarm to go off and have my morning session. That's when I started getting consistent with doing like my bike, movement club, sauna, plunge, and truly just a game changer. I'm not gonna say there aren't days where I feel a little bit less excited about my early mornings. And it's not been a perfect journey by any means, but if you are someone who hates early mornings and could never fathom waking up before your kids to work out, it is possible to change your opinion on that and actually feel good doing that if that's something that you want to do. My biggest thing is being consistent with moving your body every day is going to change your life. Like, I can promise you that. So there's my little 2 cents. Thanks for getting ready with me.